Hey everyone, One Big Boss here. As you can tell by the title of the video that you clicked on, we are talking video games, but more specifically, this is my personal top 20 games of the decade. That's right, we're going to top 20 because I tried to do this all in a 10 list and it just wasn't going to happen. So with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. Here we go. That's right, Killer Instinct 2013. This is actually the only Xbox One game that's on this list, but yeah, this is a game that I did not think we'd ever see again. A franchise we would never see again, because it's been MIA since the N64 days. And Killer Instinct 2013 is a game that is a lot of fun. And for somebody who didn't really play a super heavy amount of Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo and the N64, I still love this series. I love the music, I love the characters, the design. A lot of the things in this game throughout the years just look and feel amazing, and this is just such a good game at the end of the day, and I really hope that they bring this back for another Killer Instinct for the next gen Xbox, because fighting game wise this thing was great. I'm glad it's on the PC, because I actually had it on the PC before I got it on console. But yeah, it's just a fun game to play. Anything can happen when you play this game, even if you're playing against people that are better than you. I've noticed that, like, because I'm not really that great at this fighting game, but I'm facing people that are higher levels than me, and I'm beating them. So, I mean, that can happen like any fighting game, but it seems to happen more in this. And again, it's just more of a fun, relaxing game with all the unlockables that are in the game itself. I think that's fantastic. They went the distance for that, because they did. They really went the distance for this game, and this ends at number 20 for that reason. Yep, that's right. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Now, I haven't unsealed the PS4 version of this and everything, but I do have it on the Switch, and I have been playing it non-stop on the Switch. This game is really something else for the Nintendo Switch. I truly loved everything about this, because this is pretty much the missing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that we haven't had in years. This game is so insane. It feels like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Crazy stuff's happening on screen at all times. All the characters coming in for assists. The character roster they chose at the beginning, a lot of people nagged them for, but this is a smaller developer that's in charge of doing this, and honestly, they seem to understand Power Rangers very well. I mean, the characters they add, the special moves they add, there's characters from the comics, there's even a character from the 2017 movie in this game, and of course, you know, there's Lord Draken, who's very popular right now because of the comics. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is definitely a fighting game for all fighting game people. Even if you aren't a fan of Power Rangers, this may make you a fan of Power Rangers if you can play this, because honestly, I'm a huge Power Ranger fan. Always have been, always will be. And this game was everything I wanted, because for years, we have gotten crap after crap when it comes to Power Rangers games. In fact, I feel like the last good Power Rangers games that ever came out were the ones on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. So if you haven't had the chance, this game's pretty cheap as is, but it always goes on sale a lot, and its DLC is on sale a lot too, because they are continuously adding characters to this game, and they're even bringing back the actual actors to voice the characters for some of the characters in this game. And I think that's fantastic. I can't wait to see what these guys do more with, because this game literally has so much life in it, and I feel it could carry on if they keep supporting it. Ah yes, good old Max Payne 3. Oh man, I cannot tell you how happy I was when this game was coming out. This came out in 2012, and I was happy. Max Payne had been missing for so long in my life, it felt, and then he comes back better than ever, or I guess in this case worse than ever for him as a character. He's literally just a guy that is going through life being miserable, and he's just suffering, drinking, pill addiction, everything. Like, this is a character that's flawed, and he's, in this game, more so than any other game, he has proven he is the John McClane of video games, okay? He kicks major ass, he gets his ass kicked, he gets shot up, he gets blown up, everything happens to this guy in this game, and there's betrayal, there's everything, and the ending is such a satisfying conclusion. The story and the gameplay never got old. There were times where it's just like, oh man, so this is where it's ending, right? And then like, oh crap, no, this is not where it's ending. This is good stuff. I like this. And that's exactly what Max Payne 3 did. Rockstar did an amazing job with this game. How else can I put it? This game is awesome. I love this thing, and this is my personal favorite Rockstar series too. Now, I loved Max Payne 1, wasn't so much a fan of Max Payne 2, but this game is great. I'd love to see him come back for the next generation. I don't think it'll happen because of the way Max Payne 3 ended. It's a great send-off for the character, but in case he ever does, I mean, you could do stuff that's in between the events of 2 and 3, or 1 and 2, or what have you. Either way, if you haven't played Max Payne 3, get it for the PS3 or the 360, or on PC, because it's there on Steam. Ah, yes. DuckTales Remastered. Woo! Now it's in your head. You're welcome. This game is literally so much fun. I have it on the Wii U. I have it on the PS3. I've got it on 360. This is just a game that I love. And initially, this is not made by Capcom. This is done by WayForward, okay? And I love WayForward for all the things they do for their games, the love and the attention and everything they do. They are a company that love video games. Like, there's no best way to put it. Them and like a few other developers out there that truly love games, that don't let higher ups in because they're not AAA, but they do really solid work that makes AAA developers look like crap. Well, not the developers, but the company, because again, it's not the developers' fault a lot of these times when it comes to making games. It's usually the corporate guys up in corporate telling them what to make. But they understood what this was. This is one of the most beloved, celebrated games of all time. Its soundtrack is freaking legendary, especially that Moon soundtrack. And who doesn't love DuckTales? This was also the last time pretty much the entire original cast, I think there were like a few that had passed away before this game was made, but they all came back to voice the characters in this, and it was great. And this is what the last time that Alan Young had voiced Scrooge McDuck, so it makes the game even more special in that way. Again, graphically, the game is beautiful. It's a lot like the original. Now, I didn't want to put any kind of like remasters on this or ports, but this feels more like a remake than a remaster in many ways. The things they added to this game are unreal. So, yeah, DuckTales Remastered. Can't get it digitally anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It stinks, but if you can find a physical copy on this for your Wii U, PS3, or even the PC, go for it. Because, well, actually, you can't get it on Steam anymore, because I just said that digitally you can't get it. So, yeah, any way you can get this because it's a great freaking Fallout 4. Now, okay, admittedly, I'm not the biggest Bethesda fan out there. I haven't played every Elder Scrolls. I didn't hear of Fallout until Fallout 3 when I got my PS3 years ago. I walked into a store, saw a game called Fallout 3, and was just like, what's this about? I don't understand. And then I ended up playing it and loved it. But the reason why I love this game so much is because you get to customize your character. He's actually seen on screen more often than he was in 3, and the world is more expansive, and it takes place right in my home city of Boston. That was reason enough to get this. And throughout the cosplay world, people were going crazy for Fallout, especially people here in Boston. The Fallout meetups and at conventions like PAX East and things at Anime Boston I saw, and some of the Fallout stuff that I've even shot for friends out there. It's amazing what this game did, and I love the fact that there's so much to do in this. I actually did not get bored of this game at all, really, until about the end that I stopped playing it. And this was like, 2015. I was playing this for almost a good solid 2 years before I was just like, alright, I think I gotta move on and play some other games. I kind of felt like I've done everything in this game. But Fallout 4, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta get this. It's cheap enough, it's fun. If you like to make yourself in games and wander the world, Fallout 4 is definitely that. It's got so much in it. There's so much love that was put into this game. Go buy it. It's that good. Yep. Resident Evil 2 Remake. I feel this might upset a lot of people having it this low on the list because, yeah, this is number 15. But I have a lot of problems with this game, okay? And it stopped it from being like my game of the year of this year personally. Look, Scenario B in this game, it wasn't what it should have been, okay? There was a lot wrong with Scenario B. It didn't feel like the Scenario B type that you got in the original Resident Evil 2 where it was more expansive. That was kind of a problem, not too much in the ways of unlockables, and the game overall feels pretty short. Okay, so I've trashed the game enough and everything. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I still like this game, alright? It's making it into this top 20 decade list because I waited years for this game. And it could have been a lot worse in many ways, okay? It could have been totally balls to the wall crazy and not make sense, completely screwed everything up, and bad controls, terrible acting, you name it, it could have been in here, but thankfully that wasn't it. Controls in this game felt pretty good for what they were. The over-the-shoulder view that we've been used to for Resident Evil for these last couple of years actually works very well. A lot of people were afraid of that because, you know, Resident Evil 2 back in '98 was played with fixed camera angles. Technically, this is still fixed camera angles, it's just in a different angle, but regardless, Resident Evil 2 does deliver on a lot when it comes to its scares, its enemies, the fact that you don't get a lot of ammo in this game. I really love that. The enemies are bullet sponges, and the actors that were in this game, a lot of them just really put a lot of heart and soul into these characters, and especially Nick Apostolidis, who plays Leon. This is a guy who grew up playing the original games. He's a gamer like the rest of us. He truly understood the character that he was getting into, and so many people out there that were naysayers about, all the new characters getting voice actors and such. Quickly dismissed that once they saw Nick's performance in this. He gave a legendary performance. He gave a lot of things that people ask him to repeat all the time. He's a great guy. This game is great, and I'm glad that it exists, and I cannot wait for Resident Evil 3 Remake coming in 2020. Alright, yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I know. This is number 14 on your list. Shouldn't this be higher? Why is this on the list? Okay, folks, let me tell you something. Critics ripped this game a new one, and a lot of people did as well. But gameplay-wise, this is probably one of the best fighting games from Capcom I have played in years. Okay? The roster is small. There's not a lot in it. And the online functions pretty decently sometimes. But it's such a fun game. This game has been kept alive in the tournament scene like you wouldn't believe. I love everything about this game. Well, not everything, but there are a lot of things that need to be fixed and added. And it's great that the DLC characters that we did get before they kind of just stopped this game completely. The Winter Soldier is fun as hell. Black Panther is pretty fun. And Black Widow, she's alright. Like, I don't use her that much, but she does have a lot of cool movesets to her that I really do enjoy. And Sigma and Venom are like my two favorite DLC characters, are the ones that I use the most. This game deserved a second chance. It should not have been canned as fast as it was. I think they could have fixed this if they allowed for more DLC. I think people would have bought the game knowing that all this new stuff coming in could have saved it. Again, I know a lot of people don't like this game, but I still play this game. It's fun as hell. It can be tough, and it goes back to that old Marvel vs. Capcom 1 style, where it's just 2-on-2. And for the most part, it's kind of fun. I prefer the 3-on-3 battles, but 2-on-2 is pretty good, man. And if you can get this game for cheap, buy it. It's worth it. Yeah. Yep. Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am not the biggest Monster Hunter fan. I plain out suck at these games. But when you play this game with friends, it's a whole different story. Capcom seems to be able to do co-op right in some of their games throughout the years. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Resident Evil 5, great experience with 2-player co-op. Mercenary co-op is fun. The versus mode is busted as it is. You can play with 4 friends against each other. That's fun. Resident Evil Outbreak, now that it can be on PC, thanks to the fans, it is probably my greatest, most favorite online experience of all time. And then this comes out, and you can have so many friends play this with you, hunting monsters, going around the world, crafting, hanging out. It's amazing. It's really just a fun game, and I can see why it is Capcom's #1 selling game of all time. If you haven't played Monster Hunter, get this. Get the Iceborne expansion, too. All of it is really fun. I haven't poured 1,000 hours into this, or like, even 100 hours, but I've poured enough into here to realize that this game is so much fun. There's a lot of love put into this game, and I hope more people go out and buy it because, again, you play it with friends or you meet good people online to play it with. It's a whole new ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, yes, good old Halo Reach. Yep, kick it off 2010. We got this game. Well, we didn't get it right off the bat, at least if I remember correctly. I think it was like later in the year we got it, but Reach, as far as story-wise, was amazing. Its multiplayer and firefight modes, fantastic. Forge World, amazing. I love this game so much from its story, its online, and playing with friends for all the years that I did before we kind of eventually stopped playing this and we're playing more fighting games and other stuff out there. Halo Reach does so much and everything right. And now that it's on PC again, well, for the first time I should say, and it's on the Xbox One, it's like a brand new rediscovering of an old friend. Someone you haven't talked to for a long time, you meet up again, and it's like nothing's changed. You go back to that time when you were younger, you're having fun, you're talking with a bunch of people online. There were tons of memes about this coming back. I made a couple of Avengers ones and everything where, all the friends from online are coming through the portals and all the members of Noble 6 and everything like that were, all in the field looking at Thanos, and Thanos had a Fortnite thing over his face, so I don't know. Halo Reach, man, this is such a fun game, whether you're playing it with a story mode, playing with friends, playing against friends, or playing against randos online. I'm glad that they brought this back for the newer generation, because I was playing this, I think, well into 2013, 2014. So, yeah, this is, it's just a fun game, guys. What else can I say? Go get it. If you have a PC, you gotta get it. Next on this list is none other, as you've seen, Super Mario Party. A lot of people give this game crap. A lot of people do not like this game for various reasons. It scores low for a lot of people, but I really like this game. You see, the mini games to me have been the most fun in this than they have been in a long time for Mario Party games. I grew up playing the original Mario Party games, and I love the mini games in that. The GameCube ones, they had a lot of good ones too, but it feel like they were more miss than hit. This one hits more than it misses. The only thing it really misses on is the fact that the stages are still small, and there's only about 4 or 5 of them. So that's kind of a drawback, and I was kind of hoping they would throw more into this game, like later on, like, you know, downloadable levels and such. Could you imagine something like that, like downloadable levels, more characters, because you get so many different characters in this. You get various dice option, and the characters have their own special dice. It really makes playing with friends really fun, and you got to get this game if you have a Switch. This is a must-have Switch game. Yep, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Number 10, Shovel Knight. I feel that this is probably one of the best indie games of all time. This game came out in 2014 and took the world by storm on the 3DS, the Wii U. It got put on the PS4, the Xbox One, PC. This borrows so much from things like DuckTales, Castlevania, Mario, but it still makes this its own thing. A lot of indie games out there now, they're just trying to copy something for the sake of copying without actually putting any heart and soul into it. They're just like, hey, this is selling well, let's copy it and put very minimal effort into it, and people will probably download it and buy it or what have you. And Shovel Knight isn't that. Yeah, it feels like you're controlling Scrooge McDuck in a suit of armor, but he gets power-ups, you can play with a friend in these things now. It's unreal, the level of detail, the story, the characters. This thing takes you back to that era of, like, the NES era of, like, you know, things like Wizards and Warriors and creating, you know, characters and stories in your youth. This game does all that. And Yacht Club Games, I bow to you. If any of you guys are watching this, okay, I want to severely thank you for all the hard work you put into this. The music, the design, the levels, everything. You guys did wonderful with this, and I greatly thank you for continuously supporting out. All these years later, 2019, we're still getting stuff for Shovel Knight. You guys are killing it on all fronts, and I cannot thank you enough for that. So, guys, hopefully we see more from Shovel Knight from you in the future. And I know you put out some other things I'm really looking forward to playing. So, again, thank you, Yacht Club Games. And if you have not played Shovel Knight yet, ladies and gentlemen, go buy it now as I drop it. Shows you how much I love the game, I guess. Yakuza 0. Yeah, this is a brand spanking new game that's a prequel to the original Yakuza. And if it wasn't for this game, nobody would know what Yakuza is. For years, Yakuza was on the PS2, PS3, and nobody knew what Yakuza was. My buddy introduced me to it, like, many moons ago. Like, way, way, way back when we first started hanging out, like, 10 years ago. Even, I think it was more than that, actually. And it's a series that, if you love storytelling and characters that go so over the top, but everything still feels realistic, this game is for you. Now, it might bug you because there's no actual English dub. It's all Japanese with text lettering, and to me that got a little bit... it grinds my gears a little bit, but because the acting in this is so well, you really feel the emotion these characters are putting into the characters 100%. And the gameplay, the mini-games, the side quests you go on, they range from being really cool to downright weird and wacky. Yakuza 0 is a great introduction to the series, and now all the games are come back out again on things like Kiwami and Kiwami 2. So yeah, guys, go play it. And we're getting all the other ones, or we already have them anyway. 3, 4, and I think 5 will be downloaded digitally soon. Either way, Sega did a really good job with this. I'm glad that it was marketed well and that it caught fire. It got the second chance it deserves. The Yakuza series is here to stay, it seems. And I am glad because a lot of these games are just freaking phenomenal. Yep. Tekken 7, another fighting game makes it to this list, but ladies and gentlemen, this game came out quite some time ago. It was in the arcade in 2015, and it took a long time for us to get this, and we finally did in 2017, and I felt like it was a return to form for Tekken. This is something that had been missing in Tekken games for a long time. Look, Tekken 3 set the standard. Tekken 4 was kind of ignored by a lot of people because the roster was significantly cut down. And after seeing the roster of Tekken Tag Tournament, people were just like, oh, Tekken 4 is not that great. Graphically, it looks good, and it is fun to play. And Tekken 5 came out, wowed everybody. People loved Tekken 5. but it still wasn't reaching that plateau that 3 had. And then 6 came out, and I just feel a lot of people didn't like 6, and Tag Tournament 2. A lot of people just kind of forgot those games. And then 7 comes out, people finally playing it. I got to play this at PAX East one year, I think it was a couple months before it came out. And it was unreal to see how these characters were playing. I got to play as Akuma, I was playing Paul Phoenix, I was playing Martial Law, beat one of my buddies right there on the spot and such, and I know it tipped him off because he's a big fighting game guy. But Tekken 7 is everything that I love about Tekken and more. The guest characters and the stuff they've thrown into this game are legendary. And Tekken itself is legendary. Harada is the man. I mean, I don't ask him for shit. Okay, so maybe that's wrong. I do want to see Kiryu or Majima from Yakuza in this game because I think their fighting style would fit perfectly. But you know what? Tekken's always on sale because it's such a good game. They've made a lot of money off this. The developers are really proud of it. I'm proud of it. It's still getting some love. Go buy this game if you're a fighting game fan. If you haven't done it already, you gotta. This game is worth owning. Whew, getting down to the wire here. We're at number 7, and in 2016, this game, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, came out. I loved the original Xenoverse because I finally got to put myself in the Dragon Ball universe. Something I've wanted ever since I was a little kid. I was drawing myself in this world that I created with Dragon Ball Z powers and such, and I crossed it over with Mario characters, and then years later, a guy named Alvin Earthworm did the exact same thing with Flash animation, and it was fantastic. But back in like 98, 99, you know, if you had told me this was going to be a thing later on, I would call you a freaking liar. But it's here, it's fantastic. This improves upon the second one greatly, and even though this thing came out back in 2016, it is still getting DLC. Sometimes it gets free DLC, sometimes it's paid DLC. Oh, you guys gotta understand, this is just such a fun game. It's everything any Dragon Ball fan ever wants, and you get to be in there. You can become a Super Saiyan, you can be a Namek, you can be a Majin, you can be Frieza's race, you can be a human. There are so many options in this game, and just so much fun to play. And when you get a group of friends together to play online with other stuff, whoo! Guys, it's a beautiful game, and I still love playing it to this day. I love making my character's got like he's got this. He doesn't have a hat, unfortunately, because I don't have a hat like this. But I got the sunglasses, so you know it's me. It's got the goatee and everything, and it's just great playing with friends, especially because this was definitely made to be played with friends. It's great to level up and train together. It feels like the real, legit Dragon Ball experience. That's the best way I can put it. This game, if you don't have it, please go buy this game. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, have been on the edge, and you're not sure about it, this is literally probably the second best Dragon Ball game in my opinion. So with that being said, please go buy it, guys. Super Mario 3D World. Mario in cat suits. Not that out of a concept when he's been in Tanuki suits and crap. But yeah, this game, man, I did not buy this game when it came out. I bought it shortly after it came out. That explains the price for it. But this is probably one of the best 4-player experiences I could ever have asked for. Now, my friends and I played, Mario Brothers Wii and Wii U and stuff like that. We played those with the 4 characters. We had Luigi and a Toad and Mario and another Toad. But this was so much better than that. We 100% of this game. It was tough, but we did it. Unlocking, getting Rosalina at one point was fun. Going through all the levels again, collecting everything, 100% everything, especially those super tough bonus levels at the end. This was one of the things that made owning a Wii U worth it. And I really hope that this comes to the Switch. Now, Mario Odyssey, I played a little bit of it, and I do like it. But I just love the fact that this gave you the option to play with friends and gave you this massive, expansive world. I hope that they port this or make a sequel to it. Because Nintendo, this would print money. People would be fantastic. They would love it. You could play as other characters in it maybe too. I don't know. Like maybe throw Daisy in or something like that. Wario, Yoshi, something. It would really make a lot of people happy, especially me. Ah, that's right. Super Smash Bros. Okay, well, I had to throw this up because unfortunately, I have the game. I have Smash Bros. Ultimate digitally because I got it with my special edition Smash Bros. Switch. But this one was a good one. Smash Bros. Wii U was a game that made dreams come true for a lot of people. And then eventually we got something like the Switch version, Ultimate, which had everybody. And seeing that, Solid Snake coming back, Bayonetta's coming back, Cloud's coming back for this, Ryu's coming back. Then we get things like Ken Masters is thrown in there, Joker from Persona, and I'm not even a Persona guy, and I thought, that's a good fit. I like that idea. Banjo-Kazooie, Terry Bogard from King of Fighters. This game, like, blows your mind. And that's the great thing about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sakurai and his team, they understand the source material. They understand what these characters are, where they're from, how they can incorporate this, really pay homage to them in all the right ways. And they did just that. And of course, Sakurai being a huge fan of, King of Fighters and Fatal Fury, Terry got a lot when he was thrown in, and I'm super happy to have Terry. He's like my favorite character to use in that game now. I was like, day one, I'm using him, I'm not using anybody else. He's just such a fun, great character, and the game itself is fun to play with my friends, whether it's all four of us or it's just me and my buddy go online and fight the world. It's just so much fun. And I hope that they keep adding characters that people want. I really hope that they throw some characters out of left field that are really good, because Smash Bros. Ultimate, I don't think it's going to get a sequel anytime soon, and honestly, I'm fine with that. Just keep adding to it, and I'll be happy. Okay, so yeah, as you can tell, I love Dragon's Dogma, okay? This series, man, Itsuno had done such a great job with these. Like I said, look at these games. Look at these games. This is how obsessed I am with them, okay? I just love these games. There's so much fun to be had. Creating your own character, going around the world of dragons and demons and monsters and wolves and all this side quest stuff that you do. Creating a partner that travels with you that you can make look like one of your friends. I know I've done that. There is no way that this game should be the hidden gem that it is. This game should have got a lot more love back in the day, and honestly, I really wish more people gave it a chance. Now, it's been brought to the Switch, it's been brought to PC, it's on 360, PS3, it's on the PS4 and Xbox One now. People, its story might be lacking in many ways, and the fact that fast travel really isn't a thing unless you get key items to help you go to certain places. But I realize that running through all these places and having to go back and forth to places, as tedious as it can be, it feels rewarding because I didn't realize how much I was leveling up in the game and how much I was unlocking for my character and their skills, and I was just like, wow, this is actually pretty good. I'm okay with this. It makes you feel like you're on a journey. And that's what this did very well. And when Itsuno was asked to make either Devil May Cry 5 or Dragon's Dogma 2, clearly he made the right choice by doing Devil May Cry 5, but oh, guys, I gotta tell you, I would kill to have a second Dragon's Dogma. I know there's Dragon's Dogma online, but that's like only in Japan. And that's the one thing that this game lacked, was an online multiplayer. If you could have your real friends come into your game and play with you, kind of like how they did with like that old Fable game, I think it was Fable 2 or Fable 3, that would do so freaking well. I guarantee you guys, that would be a great selling game. Capcom, get on that. Alright, number 3 on this list. Yep. Bayonetta 2. Come on. If you know me, you know she's going to end up on this list. This is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. She is a badass. She is a stripper witch. She kicks ass on all fronts. And there's nothing more you could say about Bayonetta 2 and the fact that Nintendo, of all companies, saved this franchise. The family company made this game. Think about that. A witch who pretty much is naked during fights. Nintendo. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't get it either, but I love it. It's fantastic. It's just, I'm so glad it's here, and now it's on the Switch too. It is a bummer that, unfortunately, it has not made its way to Steam, because pretty much Nintendo owns the rights to keep it on their consoles, it looks like. But if you have a Switch, you can get Bayonetta 1 and 2. This is the one where, I think this was pretty expensive for the time, because it came with the disc of, it's got like Bayonetta 1 in it, and everything, so we're all waiting for Bayo 3, and I'm pretty sure that game's dropping in 2020 at one point. We've heard almost nothing about that. They have put out a statement saying that the game still is in development and it's not going anywhere, so it's not like in worries of being forgotten about or shelved. So that's good. But Bayonetta, I'm so glad it's totally, in my opinion, worth the buy for Wii U. And that's not the reason why I bought it, but I was even more happy to own a Wii U because of Bayonetta coming out. Next on this list, yeah, you saw it. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be like, really? That game? Do you remember how broken that was towards the end of its life? Oh yeah. this game is broken as hell with characters like Virgil and Zero, Doom missiles, friggin' Morgan and her Astral Illusion bullshit thing, and, you know, just soul fists flying everywhere and hidden missiles raining down from the sky and such. And the fact that, like, X Factor is such a cheap comeback move, you could be kicking major ass and all of a sudden someone pops an X Factor and your entire team is gone. I kind of like that, honestly, though. That was kind of the charm of the game. And the fact you had characters like Joe Valentine returning, Chris Redfield was added, the Nemesis, Wesker was added, and he's like my best character in the game. There are so many fun characters. Iron Fist was thrown in here, and I love playing as the Iron Fist in this game. A little tough to use, but I really do like using him. Doctor Strange is fun as hell to play as. The Hulk is great to play as in this game. It's just, from start to finish, I still play this game. Now it's on the PS4, so I play it a lot on the PS4. But on the PS3, this was literally one of my most played games of all time. And this came out, oh my god, whew, 2011. It's been a long time, guys, but I still love this game despite the problems. It's a fun game to play. The music is fantastic. Wasn't really a fan of the art style they chose for it, but you know what? It kind of brought a lot of people back to fighting games, I feel, and it kept that Marvel dream alive, despite the fact we may or may never get a Marvel vs. Capcom game ever again. Alright, so before we get to the number one choice, guys, I gotta give you some honorable mentions here, because this list could have probably easily had gone to a top 30, but I didn't want to do that. So with that being said, here is my list of honorable mention games for the last decade. Alright guys, number one, you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. I mean, if you all know me, you probably know what it is already, but my game of the decade is none other than Devil May Cry 5. I know, right? Like, out of all the amazing games I've listed, this newcomer in 2019 is your game of the decade. Look, there was a time where I felt that Devil May Cry would never come back. Now, Devil May Cry is one of my, I'm pretty sure it's in my top 5 franchises of all time, but the problem with that was we did not see a Devil May Cry game, like a proper one. Oop, stuff's falling over here. We did not see a proper Devil May Cry game for 11 years. Yeah, there was the reboot, but it was a reboot. A reboot nobody asked for. And yeah, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Devil May Cry 4, and I think that's what led to that happening, so either way, 11 years later, we're getting Devil May Cry 5, the boys are back in town. This game was phenomenal from start to finish. I loved the acting in it. I had the pleasure of meeting all 4 of the Devil May Cry 4 guys, all 4 of the Devil May Cry 5 guys at ConnectiCon this past year. I got to do the photos for the panel. It was an amazing treat to meet every single one of them with my friends. It was great. I talked to Ruben Langdon a lot, and of course, if you know me over at the Residents of Evil, we did talk to Ruben Langdon before as well. This game just screams excellence. Like, Itsuno really put his heart and soul into it with his development team. They all did phenomenal at making this game really the game that it should have been. Now, I know people are complaining, saying, where's the Virgil DLC? We need the Virgil DLC. I totally get that, but honestly, for what we got, I am just so damn extremely happy. And I'm still playing this game, man. Especially Bloody Palace, which they gave us for free. Can't knock that. It's just that good of a game. I love this game to death, and I really hope that in the future there's a Devil May Cry 6. Alright guys, so that's it. That's my top 20 games of the decade. Again, this is my personal top 20 games. So, you know, I don't want people in the thing saying, oh, did this rank higher than this or anything like that. No, I'm not Watch Mojo or a lot of those other guys where everybody gets pissed off at them. This is just my personal one. And the honorable mention list, man, 3 of those games almost made it on to the actual list itself. Things like Hyrule Warriors, Revelations 2, and Metal Gear Revengeance. Those 3 games almost made it on there, and they didn't. And it hurt me to take those ones off, because I had to go through a couple of revisions of this. But I think the list overall is really good. There's something on almost every console, it seems. Except really 3DS, but, you know, there wasn't a lot of games I liked on the 3DS that didn't end up on console later on anyway. But overall, yeah, that's my list. So I want to know what you guys think about this list. You know, like, do you have feelings about any of these games yourselves? And what's your personal top 10, or top 5, or top 20, top 30 games of the decade? Because this was really one hell of a decade for video games, for brand new franchises. Franchises that are coming back from the dead. Franchises that are getting a different spin on things. They're all there. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm interested to see what you all have, because no one person's list is the same, I feel. Sometimes you might get a couple of people if it's a top 5, you know, but overall, I think the list I chose is pretty diverse. There's some big games and there's some smaller games. So yeah, with that being said, guys, please thumbs up and subscribe, because it's free, and this day and age, free is a damn good thing. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. My name is One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.